have created an eMetaverse called You Deserve It. Our tokens are YDI, and we're on the Solana blockchain. The following premises are the basis for our eMetaverse. For more information, please see our white paper. We call our platform a metaverse because meta is both a Greek word and a Hebrew word. In Hebrew, met means dead. And if you add an E, it becomes emet, which means truth. We are Americans, and we believe in American exceptionalism. And so we have arranged our DAO, Decentralized Autonomous Organization, to govern the YDI metaverse based upon the U.S. Constitution and free market capitalism. Communism belongs in the dustbin of history at long last. Our metaverse is the whole world as we know it, and so everyone is welcome. Community members are subject to the local law wherever they come from. American community members will be subject to the U.S. Constitution as intended by the founders. There is no racism and no PC in our metaverse. YDI is developed as a massive mall with basically 3 kinds of stores. Various activities are located in the different stores in the mall. When you enter a store, depending upon what it is, you'll have the ability to shop for NFTs in the store. Or if the store is the portal for an app, you'll have the ability to teleport to the app. The 3 kinds of stores are designer clothes, one-of-a-kind merchandise, and NFT garments that can be purchased and worn in the metaverse and also on one's body. Metaverse NFTs such as guns and ammo and gear and game objects will also be offered. Activities such as concerts, fashion shows, film shows, and the like. And educational facilities. The best firearms training and play to earn and other games are coming. At the base, we have no intention of being political. Our intent is to provide an enjoyable and educational, entertaining time for our community. Here in the real world, we have become infiltrated and corrupted so that most people who just want to live their life in freedom and not be bothered are totally controlled. Because of this, a small minority of evil and greedy people have succeeded in infiltrating our culture and society to the point of almost total control. But they won't succeed. Now, we are seeing that Americans at large reject their agenda. Our political vision is just to avoid the corruption and atrocities which the government has committed in our name, and to return to the principles of freedom as embodied in our Constitution. The special thing about our metaverse is the realism. Disabled people will have the ability via their avatar to move around as if they were not disabled. Unlike the current metaverses, ours is not cartoonish. Our avatars are full-bodied and can be just like the real person, or the user may customize his or her avatar to some idealized version of him or herself, or something entirely different at their own preference. Real estate. As we're developing a whole world, we are bit by bit creating the land and buildings to make up the digital substance of it. It's being developed as speculative land and buildings which reflect the reality of the world as it is. We have cities and states and countries, which will match the public records of the various localities. The mall will be located in a specific location. The land it is on will be a copy of an actual existing mall in an existing location. The building will be a digital representation of the actual mall. We will select a place with massive opportunities to expand the mall and to replicate other facilities as needed. We will sell the digital land and buildings as NFTs to whomever wants it and develop it wherever the buyer wants. The only constraints are that the land must conform to actual surveys that exist in the local locations, and in the event the buyer desires variances, such must conform to available existing surveys. Buildings can conform to existing buildings, i.e. the Empire State Building, etc., but we may not use the same names for copyright reasons. Funding and monetization of the tokens. At first, as we're on the Solana blockchain, YDI tokens are only obtainable in exchange for SOL. SOL can be purchased via fiat currency or exchanged with other tradable crypto tokens or MasterCard or Visa in the ordinary fashion. YDI can then be exchanged for an arbitrary percentage of an SOL at the market price. For example, if SOL is at $20 and we want the YDI to be valued at $1, then we'll sell it at 0.05 SOL. In the beginning, YDI will have no real value except for the arbitrary price set by the trustees. However, the YDI eMetaverse provides that once the community is up and running, YDI will eventually be tradable on exchanges just like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and SOL is now, and will have a market value independent of SOL and not be at the mercy of SOL to be traded. The trustees' intention is that YDI will not be a fiat currency. It will be backed by silver and real assets. We have minted 400 trillion tokens, which is an estimate of the value in US dollars for the entire world. The YDI will be issued and traded only based upon the assets and the silver in reserve. The rest of the 400 trillion will be stored in the vault. All the sales of real estate will be sidelined into a blind trust, and operation sales will be circulating, issued and circulating. The freely circulating total of tokens will always be equal to the blind trust and proceeds from operations. There will be a calculable original market value to those tokens, and at such points there are sufficient tokens issued. We will engage actuaries and auditors and provide quarterly and annual reports to the community to be informed. The Founding Fathers sacrificed so much treasure in the form of blood and lives and fortunes to give us this exceptional country, governed by the Constitution and free market capitalism. And the American people have developed over the years this great country to the extent that it provided the best standard of living that has ever existed. And everyone wants to come here, which is obvious by the immigration crisis. Look at communist countries who prevent their people from leaving. We've been infiltrated and corrupted by communists and others over the past century, and they have successfully infiltrated and corrupted our government, schools, media, and culture, and the financial system. But now the people who are not by nature political and just want to live their lives in freedom are realizing that our country is in danger of losing our freedom. They reject living under dictatorship, just like in 1776. We believe it's time to promote and advocate American exceptionalism. For too long, America has been subjected to infiltration and communist subversion, and now they have brainwashed our youth and corrupted all of our institutions. If America, as envisioned by the founders, is to survive, there must be an advocate to stand up for truth, justice, and the American way. In our mind, the world needs America to be America. After World War II, the result of America's dominance made the entire world more prosperous than at any time in history. If it is allowed to continue without all the corrupt government agencies secretly committing atrocities in our name, the entire world may soon enjoy similar prosperity and standard of living as we have become used to in America. That's the reason we created this eMetaverse in the atmosphere of the U.S. Constitution as envisioned by the founders and free market capitalism. We have created